Hey, welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. Let's talk about the Raw WWE Championship scene. And there isn't much to say from the May 3rd episode of Raw. I mean, the entire episode was pretty much built around the concept of Drew McIntyre, Braun, and Lashley basically arguing. And, Lashley doesn't believe that Braun should even be there. So that's pretty much the entire episode is Braun trying to prove that he deserves to be in this match, even though he won the match to get in. And there was, little promos here and there. MVP did an excellent job. And, not to go through all the different promos. There's just no point to it because there was not a lot being done. But I really liked MVP's promo where he talked about the luck of Braun. And he says that Braun can eat a salad made completely of 4-leaf clovers and drink rabbit's foot stew. And his luck is still run out tonight. I like that, but I would have liked it more if that's a real weighty promo, but it didn't mean anything. And what I mean by it didn't mean anything is if Braun loses, he doesn't get put out of the match because he lost, right? So it's like, even if he got beat up, it was like, so what? He'll still be there, at WrestleMania Backlash. He's still going to be there. Now, they did tease that Drew and Lashley were going to work together and beat up Braun and make it a one-on-one match. But I think that instead of having a match to do that, they should have set up an angle or something to do that. Where maybe, Lashley beats Braun with like a chair or something. And then, there comes the temptation where he gives like a bat to Drew and he's like, hit him with it. Hit him, If you really tear into him, he won't be there for WrestleMania Backlash. Kind of to tempt Drew into doing something that would be heelish. But what we got was, probably the least interesting angle of the night. Because they just did basically what they always do with triple threat matches. Bunch of one-on-one matches. Other guy sits at commentary. Oops, I bumped into him, knocked him over. Oh, we're going to fight. And then he was distracted. Then he turned around, got speared, got pinned. And I was like, no. The problem, see, here is, I think they're doing a lot of good things right with Lashley. They really are. But Lashley needs to be portrayed a lot like Roman. Look, he can't be Roman. He shouldn't try to be. But we need to maybe not have Lashley be so passive. And what I mean by that is he's wrestling too much. He doesn't seem to have a lot of control over what's going on around him. You just have people just randomly putting themselves into triple threat matches. You got random Mason T-Bar run-ins, and those guys weren't even there tonight, but we'll talk about that in a moment. It's just not, it doesn't feel like Lashley is in control on Raw. He doesn't feel like, maybe I don't know if he does, I just don't think he feels like the star yet. Like, he felt like the star going into WrestleMania. But for the last couple of weeks, maybe, and I think one of those weeks he wasn't even on the show, he hasn't felt like an afterthought, but he hasn't felt like he is the centerpiece of Monday Night Raw, right? And maybe it's since the Hurt Business went away, and he felt like the centerpiece more when they were around, but he doesn't feel like he's the center of Raw right now. And Drew McIntyre also, he still feels like he's the top guy. He has more segments than Lashley does. He has 2 feuds going on right now. He was, he had some words for Mason T-Bar, who weren't there. But he talked about, hey, why are they attacking me? Nobody knows. Why they take off the stupid masks and keep the stupid names? And good question. Why did they do that? But we didn't get anything in the way of an explanation from Mason T-Bar or from anybody else or where the hell those guys are. Or why, I mean, they could have done an insert promo. Just, 40 seconds, 50 seconds. Maybe even if it was just them threatening to attack Drew again. Something. But this episode of Raw was good. But it wasn't good because of the main event stuff. It was good because of the other things that they were doing. They were taking chances throughout the night. But I feel Lashley needs to be more the centerpiece of Raw. You know, maybe I'm tripping, but it just doesn't feel like he's got enough control. You know, and maybe we need to do something about that. Maybe it's this forever feud with Drew McIntyre that's been going on since February. You know, that we need some finality to that feud, and I don't feel like it's going anywhere fast. I just feel like we're treading water, and we just added Braun to make this thing last longer. When in reality, we could have been done with this Drew McIntyre and Lashley thing at WrestleMania. We should be done with it. And I wouldn't have had a problem with Lashley wrestling Braun. And, you know, but you also have another issue is they have these two guys, but they have literally no one else. So basically this is why the triple threat match is happening. It's because so Braun could take the pin or something like that. And then Drew can get yet another title match. And we never leave this quagmire of Lashley versus McIntyre. Because who else you got? You got nobody else. Like, you have all that talent and you literally have no other contenders ready. Nobody that's hot on the back burner. Nothing. You have nobody. The only other option you have is other people who are trapped in forever feuds like Damian Priest. You know, and Damian Priest and Lashley could be a great match. But they haven't done a good job with Damian Priest. He's been trapped in that quicksand of The Miz and John Morrison. He's just been trapped in there. And yes, I understand that, you know, there is some ideas maybe that, you know, that's going to break up soon. They were doing some stuff with, you know, Miz and Morrison talking over each other. And then Miz was the reason Morrison lost the match because he distracted the ref and all that kind of stuff. I get that they're trying to, you know, they're building to the Miz and John Morrison breakup. But that doesn't have shit to do with what I'm talking about, because this should have been done at WrestleMania. You know, like, why there needs to be a WrestleMania Backlash that features mostly the same shit that was at WrestleMania just doesn't make sense to me. That's 4 more weeks of TV featuring feuds that ended clean that we didn't need any more from. You know, like, we reached a crescendo. It's like you pushing rope at this point. You know, and for people who don't know what that means, right? This is a thing. You know, when you push rope, it means you've already ejaculated and you're still trying to fuck, right? It's like you're getting softer and you're still trying to go. It's like we had the climax already. Lashley and McIntyre ended clean. There really is no reason for McIntyre and Lashley to continue. Damian Priest and Bad Bunny beat The Miz and Morrison. There was no real reason for this to still be going on. You know, same thing with Natalya and Tamina versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, even though I don't think that was clean. Matter of fact, I think it was clean, actually. There's no reason to continue stuff when the match ends clean. You know, there's no reason to continue it. And you have to beg the question, what is the purpose of continuing a feud where the feud was done clean? You're supposed to have a fresh slate going into a new season. But I think that we're wasting our time talking about that. But I do think that, you know, we are pushing rope at this point. You know, we're trying to drag this triple threat feud to WrestleMania Backlash. And then no matter what happens, this feud is not over. So it's like, it doesn't give me the best spirits going forward for Lashley's title run. And hell, I'm at the point where I think they're going to take it from him. You know, because again, he hasn't been the focal point of Raw. And when you really think about it, are we just counting down the minutes until we give the title back to McIntyre? You know, so. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. I thank you guys for your time. And I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace out.